My question has to deal with love and how we relate to others. And in my young existence so far, I'm just wondering for the future, is there like a recipe for, I've heard you talk about, letting everyone off the hook and not focusing on when you love someone with attachments or with expectations. And also, I've seen a lot of suffering, like with marriages with people older than me. And is it because it seems so binding and not really real giving the person freedom that they need to be who they are? What does real love consist of? Because I really would like to know for my path and my journey. And I think just from what I've noticed, in marriages, some people think of it as institutionalized, and then there's religion that takes a part in it. And so I guess I'm just looking for a recipe that would be good to work for in the future in dealing with people and in relationships, or not just in love relationships, so we don't feel that pain or suffering, or we can love freely and let that person be who they need to be on their journey and their path, and it is what it is.
Well, it sounds to us like you've got it figured out. We think the perfect recipe or the perfect marriage or relationship vows must certainly be, I like you pretty good, let's see how it goes. You've touched on several things here. There were several things that sort of lit up around the room as you were speaking here. And the most significant thing that we want to address here is that love, the feeling of love, when you are in a moment where you are offering love, you are in perfect vibrational alignment with that which is your source. And anything less than that is less than that. The emotion of love is an indicator about alignment. And you can apply it, as you said, to so many different things. It can be applied to your relationship with your significant other. It can be applied to almost any subject. As I focus upon this person or this subject, no matter what the subject is my approach to it allowing my full connection with my source energy, or is my approach to it somehow not? Now, you said something else that is very important, and that is that the emotional scale that we've been talking about all morning is on the end of it that feels like love is also your personal, in the moment, perception of freedom and empowerment. And we use the word perception carefully because everyone is free. You're so free you can choose bondage. No one else can vibrate for you. But how you perceive yourself to be, the amount of power that you perceive in the moment has to do with how much power you're connected to. And that degree of love that you are feeling is absolutely tied with that feeling of alignment with who you really are. And of course, on the other end of that, that disempowerment is there. So it's an interesting thing. You talked about the pain you see in relationships.
Or why people can't let go, of another person. Or like you talk about, there's always abundance available, or everything's in perfect timing and the right person will come along when they need to be. So don't feel sadness, perhaps, if it's not in how you perceive it to be, because Source knows what you need at the right timing. So I guess why is there that wanting to cling or wanting to hold on and to...
The reason that wanting to cling or hold on is so prevalent is because the person who is now clinging was not in touch with their own emotions to begin with. In other words, that is usually the ending of this kind of scenario. So I'm in my physical body and I want to feel good. And I haven't yet figured it out that I can focus myself into feeling good. I'm still, like so many people, looking at that and feeling good and looking at that and feeling bad. And so believing that if more things were like that, I'd feel better. And if fewer things were like that, I'd feel better. Still believing that I need to control circumstances. So I come together with someone, and in most relationships, especially in the beginning, because you don't know so much about me and I don't know so much about you, and we're both hoping for what we each want. So both of us are more in a place of alignment in the beginning of a relationship, because we're looking positively, expectantly at one another. And in doing so, we're finding the best in each other. And in looking for the best in each other, we are, without maybe even knowing it, aligning with Source, who always looks for the best in each other. We're aligning with that broader non-physical part of ourselves. And so we say, oh, this feels so good. When you look at me and my physical body and you love me, you're in alignment with Source in order to love. And when you shower your love all over me, it feels so good, I say to you, in my physical form. So then, as that feels good, then what happens, however, is that you have to continue to hold yourself in a place of connection and positive expectation in order to flood that well-being all over me. And if you don't, then I feel like a puppet that somebody has let go of the strings. And then I begin saying things to you such as, you don't love me like you used to, or you don't make me feel the way you used to, when it was never your job to make me feel this way to begin with. All you were was a catalyst that caused me to connect with who I really am and how I really feel. So the clinging or hanging on that you're talking about is where I now remember that you did make me feel good, and I'm hanging on to that dream, and I'm hanging on to that vision. And the closest thing that I associate to feeling the way I always wanted to feel was that brief time when I felt that way with you. So I'm holding on to you. And we want you to get so consciously aware that the way you feel is about what you're focused upon, and that the way you feel is about your amount of alignment with who you are or misalignments, allowing of who you are or resisting of who you really are. And when you get that, and you further understand that you can, with deliberate thought, while we acknowledge you can't do it all at once, you can do it incrementally. As you acknowledge that you can close that gap between where you are and where you want to be, or who you are and who you really are, then you're not holding other people in that impossible position of having to perform in a way so that you can feel better. When you say to someone, I need you to be different so that I can feel better, you have no power. That's the pain of relationships. It's expecting the impossible. It's giving someone else the power to do something that nobody else can do. Nobody can hold you as their object of attention completely enough to assure that you will always be in alignment. And if they did, you'd be screaming and running and trying to get away from them because you would feel like you were suffocating, you see. So a relationship becomes magnificent when you let your primary relationship that you are seeking be with you. When you say, nothing is more important than that I feel good. And then on a myriad of subjects, you practice bringing yourself up the vibrational scale so that you show yourself that under all conditions that you have the power to focus and feel good. You don't ever have to leave your relationship behind. Your relationship, just like everything else in your life, is continuing to evolve. And right here in the middle of this relationship that may feel so awful that you want to run kicking and screaming from it, you're launching rockets of desire. You're amending your desires relative to that relationship. And Source is becoming all of that. The Source part of you is becoming all of that. And if you could find, through reaching for thoughts that feel better, in other words, finding thoughts that give you relief. If you could come into vibrational alignment with that, you could live inside of an eternally evolving relationship that would continue to be as fresh and new as you are.
That's very insightful. So is there only one person for you? I mean, when we talk about marriage, until death do us part.
You come forth into clusters. Until death do us part, and please let it come soon. Yeah.
Right. But that seems like, even like the whole marriage vows, it just seems very binding. And why? What would your idea be?
Well, that's what we say. Yeah. I like you pretty good. Let's see how it goes. Would be a much better marriage vow, because this until death do us part thing. In other words, what that marriage vow says is, so we'll come together. We're really not sure how we got here, but here we are. And I'm so afraid that it won't last, that I'm going to lock you into, and you're going to lock me into, a promise that neither one of us are ever even going to be able to come close to keeping. And then we'll just hold it over each other's head until we exacerbate our reason for not being together. Because after all, we're going to need huge justification to break apart if we are not living happily ever after. And we say, Oh, it is a very troubling situation. If we were standing in your physical shoes, we would not go down that road. We would get into alignment with who we are, and we would say, Source Energy, I'm feeling pretty good. Please help me to align, find, interact with, come to know someone who's a vibrational mate, and I'll know it when I see it, and you will. So, in the same way that you are being called up that emotional scale, you can only allow in relationship-wise something that matches wherever you are on that emotional scale. So the universe lines you up with the perfect person to help you to either or, and usually both, launch more things into vibrational escrow, or clean up your vibration that you've already launched into vibrational escrow. So very often, the universe will put in your path, or will call you along your path, to someone who is the perfect next logical step from where you are. Not the final step, the next logical step on this path of where you're going. But in your culture, you want to make everyone the final step. And so you look at this one, and even though there are aspects that you appreciate and reasons that you are together, as you find the flaws, not only do you not then continue the call on to the next and the next and the next, but you end up going in the opposite direction often. So sometimes people are unsettled when they hear us talk like this, because it makes it sound like you are using relationships as stepping stones to get to where you really want to be. And we say everything in life is standing where you are and garnering whatever you can from where you are on your way to yet a fuller and fuller and fuller and fuller understanding. So it is possible that you could come together with someone who matches you where you are. And you could, in that relationship, give birth to all kinds of clear ideas of what you really prefer in a relationship. And as you give birth to that, then do the processes to get into alignment with it. And it's possible that this relationship could evolve as it moves up. In other words, we're not saying that you could not meet someone and together move up the emotional scale. We just want you to understand that whatever is coming to you always matches. And so if you want to be kind to other people, move up the scale and then join with the other one. But many of you say, Abraham, you came to me a bit late. I have marriage vows. I have commitments. We have children. We have financial obligations. In other words, we are intertwined in this relationship, and we say you can clean it up from wherever you are. And so the last thing that we'll say about this for now is, if you will let the relationship between you and you be your dominant awareness, and you will really care about how you feel, and you will work to close that gap again and again, what begins to happen is that every relationship that you have improves. Every person, yourself included, every person is like the universe at large. They have components that are a match to what you want and components that are not. And when you clean up your vibration by fixating upon the best of them, so that the best of them is what's active in you, then the best of them is the basis on which your relationship will evolve, you see. And then you're not running around trying to find some other improvement. You're allowing law of attraction to yield it to you right where you are. It always does.
So watering the positive aspects in others and the positive seeds, you mean, as far as when you talk about meeting up with people and you moving up the emotional journey, like not focusing, like beating the drum of the negativity in a relationship, but focusing on the good
Do your
things.
best to find the best that you can find. But if you're feeling really wonderful, the universe is going to yield to you wonderful people. If you're not feeling so good, you're going to bump into the waitress that doesn't give a rip about you. You're going to get entangled in traffic. In other words, the universe is always yielding to you a reflection of wherever you are. You've just got to make peace with where you are and appreciate every person who's coming into your experience, because they are a representation of how you're flowing. And as you accept them as this gift of information, and then let your next desire or decision flow out of that, then before you know it, you're appreciating everything that everyone brings to you, because we're all in this together. once you learn about emotions and once you learn how to walk your way up the emotional scale, you can deliberately activate a part in you, and what you will discover is that every one of those relationships will be transformed because of the new activation that you've been working on. Don't you notice people? Children, it's easiest to see in, but with adults too. Haven't you ever seen children behave one way with that person and an entirely different way with another person? And it's because those two different people were focused on the children in two different ways and activating in themselves two different vibrations, and law of attraction was just yielding to them what was dominant in them. People give you what you expect.